Now, the big one is religious misinformation and fear. And this is a massive subject on this of why hypnosis is seen as connected to the spiritual world. And it's without any foundation. But I'm going to explain a few things. So certain religious groups, especially those who are very conservative or evangelical circles, have warned against hypnosis, equating with opening up yourself up to demonic influence, losing control of your soul, inviting spirits to possess or guide you. Now, this idea originally comes from England, but actually as well as Germany, as far back as the ideal against witchcraft in the 15th to 16th century, the supernatural and more. So originally the ideas of witches and witchcraft was to help with guidance for the religious clergy. Then they turned on it and they actually then blamed black cats as well. So that's where the idea, if they got rid of all the black cats, that's why the plague spread more, because they didn't have any cats to catch the rats. So there's another thing, is considering back in the 15th, 16th century, they fought people who were left-handed, where we always get this discrimination towards lefty people or left political people. They claimed were witches. Again, there was no scientific proof that this is what they claimed, and this is what the church proclaimed. They also believed that women without children, who were single, promiscuous, were also witches. And gladly, society isn't so backward, you'd think. But in the 18th, 19th century, further along, Indian and non-Western spiritualization and spirituality, Taoism and Vedic knowledge was also being translated into the English language. This interested academics in theology, literature, mathematics, who were not keen on the restrictions of the power of the Church of England had on society either. So to think of some literature greats, William Blake, who wrote about this in his issue in his poetry. In fact, William Blake, before he died, some of his actual later poems was seen as obscene because it was against the church and it got burned. Perhaps the most famous playwright and prior to the 20th century was also converted to Hinduism, and its ideals of vegetarianism in the UK was George Bernard Shaw, an Irish playwright. And there were many others too who were against the British Empire's methods too, especially the Irish literature geniuses of W.B. Yeats and so forth, due to the suppression that England had put on Ireland, banning Gaelic being spoken in their communities. And this so-called beliefs of hypnosis, even with the yoga opening yourself to demonic influence, are not grounded in any science or clinical experience. They have arisen from a fear of the unknown and a desire to protect their followers from perceived spiritual danger. Now, I can understand this, right? You know, if people are fearful of something, they do this. But I don't agree with it from any position due to it's not warranted at all by any evidence. It is just literally hearsay and someone's believed it and it's now carried on. And perhaps this is why I think religion over time has less control over the populace. And it is on this last clinging form of idealism